So we have, we're now on part C of question 1. C1, solve 2 sine 3x minus sine x is equal to 0. For 0, let's equal to x, let's equal to 2 pi. So this is an equation, a trig equation. So for any equation, this is sine, this is sine. So the first thing you do is you factor out what is common. So sine x is common. Then we remain with 2 sine squared x minus 1 equal to 0. This can only be 0 if sine is 0 or 2 sine squared minus 1 is 0. Okay. If we deal with this one, we are looking for the angles. When is sine 0? So sine is 0 when x is 0. So since we are dealing with radians, I'll just put 0. Sine is also 0 when x is 180, which is pi. And sine is 0 when x is 2 pi, 360. What are we using? Remember this, you pick the coordinates. Okay, so let me pick them like this. We're doing the unit circle. On the x, we have 1, 0. Y is 0 here. And we have 0, 1. And we have negative 1, 0. And then we have 0, negative 1. So as I surround them, we know the angles. This is 0 and 360. This is 90, 180, 270. And then these coordinates 1, 0. This is for cos, sine. Cos, sine. Cos, sine. And cos, sine. Is what I'm using to remember these. So cos 360 is 1. Cos 0 is 1. Sine 0 is 0. Sine 360 is 0. That's why we picked these. Then we go to the other one. Well, we are solving for sine. So we'll have sine squared is equal to 1 over 2. So we take 1 the other side and then divide by this 2 here. Then we square root. So we have sine x is equal to plus or minus. So plus 1 over root 2. Or sine x is minus 1 over root 2. Then now we get inside. So what angles will give us 1 over root 2 for sine? That's 45. 45 is pi over 4. How do you know these? We're using the 2 triangles. So here, we're talking of this triangle that has 45 here, 45 here, and 90 here. So this is 1, 1. And you square them, you get root 2 there. So sine 45 is 1 over root 2. And then, where else is sine positive? You go to the quadrants. In the quadrant, sine is positive here, sine is positive here as well. So you go in the second quadrant and look for the angle whose reference is 45. In the second quadrant, you will say, well, the x that we want here will be 180 minus 45. Minus 45. Yeah, so what is that? Over 1. Common denominator is 4. So we get 4 pi minus pi, which is 3 pi over 4. Then we got the other one. Where is sign negative? Sign is negative in the third and fourth quadrant. In the third quadrant, how do you find the angle that is related to 45? So here you say x is pi plus pi over 4. Here you add. So you get 5 pi over 4. And in the fourth quadrant, we subtract. So we have 2 pi minus pi over 4. That's 8 minus pi. That's 7 pi over 4. And so we have these are solution 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There should be so many marks here because we have 8 solutions. I mean, is it 7? Yeah, 7 solutions. Plus the working leading to the solution. So all the we just add here. We just add a triangle which has 80 here and 60 here. Then 90. To have 1 here, 2 there, and then 3. So these are the only special triangles that we have. On finding solutions, sin x is equal to 0. You're putting from here. You're looking for these zeros. 1, 2. Sin is 0 here, where we have 0 and 36. Sin is 0 here, where we have 1, 8. So we have 0, 1, 8, 36. And where is sine positive half? We have a triangle here, 45. In sine, we know it's opposite over hypotenuse, which is 1 over 2. So it's 45. Then you ask yourself a question on the quadrant, where else is sine positive? Sine is positive in the second quadrant. So you get an angle also in from the second quadrant. Place there. Then where is sine negative? Sine is negative in the third and fourth quadrant. So you get an angle here by adding, because we are using a reference angle from the first quadrant. You get an angle here in the fourth by subtracting. Okay. Next. Part 2, find dy dx given y is equal to the square root of x squared minus 1 multiplied by sine x.
Sir,
Hello.
on the previous question, you are given the first is the interval in radians. What if you leave it in degrees? Is it wrong?
In the exam, normally it's not a big deal.
Okay.
Although this is correct in degrees, I think even in the test we are marking, like if you give the answer in degrees and then you're given an interval, then this could give you marks.
Oh yeah.
So work with what you know
Thank you.
better.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me, sir.
Hello.
What did you answer about the previous question.
So the question was, can you still present your
So
answer
is this the
in
first
degrees?
page or
First page. The question was, can you still present your answer in degrees if you are given the interval in radians? I said yes, as long as your answers are correct. But you also learn the art of converting. It's easy. Okay, if you're given that y is equal to this, how do we differentiate? Use product rule. So you let u be x squared minus 1 to the power half and v be sin x. Then differentiate u. What is v prime? We're using power rule here and chain rule. So we bring half down, keep x squared minus 1, then half minus 1, we get negative half. And then multiply by derivative of the inside. So we differentiate x squared, we get 2x. We differentiate negative 1, we get 0. So we have 2 into 1. So we get x over the square root of x squared minus 1. Why square root? Because I have negative half as a power. So I can take it in the when it becomes positive half. But positive half is a square root. So I can put that there. Okay, what about v prime? V prime is cos x. That's a derivative there. Chain rule says if you have a function with some power n, to differentiate, you drop the power and then you maintain the inside thing. Do n minus 1. And then multiply by the derivative of g. That's what chain rule says.
okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So this is what we are using every time and even to differentiate using chain rule. We're using this. And so now we combine them. So we say dy dx is equal to u prime v plus v prime u. Which one is u prime? U prime is x over the square root of x squared minus 1 multiplied by v. V is sin x. So I'm multiplying by sin x. And then plus v prime is cos x multiplied by u. U is the square root of x squared minus 1. And then okay, that's how we leave this one. Next, question 2. Question 2a. Let F be a trig A, find amplitude. Phase shift. And period. Two, sketch. And three, solve. F is equal to 3/2. Solution. So we do, if F is cos in part 1, so we have F of x is equal to cos 2x minus pi. So, how can you know whether to differentiate implicitly or just use other rules for that question? To differentiate implicitly, you must have y. You must have y that you have failed to express as an explicit function. But if y is only appearing on the left and it's the only thing you have as a function, y is equal to something, there's no implicit there. Implicit comes in if y is appearing on the variable. Okay, so what's the amplitude for cos here? Amplitude is, you're always picking things from the general case, which is A cos bx plus C plus D. The amplitude is the absolute value of A. Okay, so here the coefficient of cos is 1, so the amplitude is 1. The period is 2 pi over B. If you are here, period is 2 pi over B. So what is our B here? B is the coefficient of x. So B is 2. So I get 2 pi. Okay. What is the first shift? The first shift, we equate bx plus c to 0. And then solve for x. So here we equate 2x minus pi to 0. And then solve for x. So that's the first shift. Now, because we want to sketch, so part 1 we are done, very much there. But now we're told we should sketch. So to sketch, we also need to find the vertical shift. The vertical shift is D. Remember, standing alone here, we don't have it. So it's 0. While finding the vertical shift, we want to use it to find the maximum. What will be the maximum value of our graph? It will be the vertical shift plus the amplitude, which is 0 plus 1. So we get 1. And what's the minimum value? The minimum value is the vertical shift minus the amplitude, which is 0 minus 1, we get minus 1. The center line is the vertical shift itself. which is equal to 0. And then the sketch. So we know we have 1, we have 0, and we have -1. What else do we need? We need to get a scale. Yes. Whatever the amplitude is, that's how you use it. That's how I've given you this in general form. Then the scale, you divide the period by 4. So we get pi over 4. That's our scale. So meaning we go to the first shift, which is pi over 2. Pi over 2. Okay. And start adding pi over 4. Start adding pi over 4. If you don't want the radians, you can do it in degrees. We say, okay, pi over 2 is 90. So I have 90 here in the first shift. Then my scale is 45. So you do 90 plus 45. We're getting 145. Plus 45. We're getting 180. Plus 45. We're getting 225. And plus 45, we're getting 270. The question says cover from 0 to 2 pi. So you go to the first shift and subtract 45 now. So 90 minus 45, we get 45. 45 minus 45, we get 0. So we have to sketch from 0 all the way up to a 360. So I needed another angle here, but I have no space. So I'll put it there. That would be 360. Okay. Then you substitute just one angle. Let's pick 0 and substitute in there. So if we substitute, or maybe the general one is we're picking the first shift. So pick the first shift, 90. Substitute in the function. So what is f of 90? F of 90 is cos 2 by 90 minus pi. That is cos 180 minus 180. So we get cos 0. So you're not given the scale, the scale you find for yourself. If you're not given the interval, you sketch from the first shift to the single period, then you're done. Okay, so cos 0 is 1. So 90 is giving us 1. Now we are saying, here you've said that the maximum is 1. So you don't have anything up here.
So I have a question. When you're not given the range, we're advised to end where? Like, is it on 360 or what? Because some questions, they don't usually have the range on where you're supposed to end.
You start from the first shift.
Exactly.
So the first shift you add your period. That's why you end.
Okay.
So 90
All
plus 180, you end at 270.
Okay.
And then, because 1 is the maximum, well, then it means that we can't jump from 1 to -1. We have to pass through 0, which is the center number. So the next angle will be at 0. The next one will be at -1. Then it will be at 0. Then it will be at 1. Then it will be at 0. On this side, it will be at 0, and then at -1. So you have the sketch. Oh, yeah. So we have
Excuse me,
this.
sir.
Hello. Hello?
Sir, sorry, my network was tripping. Can you repeat what you are saying on how to find what's this, the y coordinates?
So the y coordinates are coming from here. The maximum y coordinate will be 1. The minimum y coordinate will be -1. And the center y coordinate will be 0. We have known this before we go to the graph. And then after we put them -1, 0, and 1, then I pick the first shift, 90, and substitute in the function. I get 1. Put in the maximum. Okay. Because it's the maximum, I don't expect anything up here. From maximum, it must go down. But doesn't jump from here, comes there, no. It means the next angle to that 0, the center number. And the next angle to that -1. Just reach the minimum, so just start going up. Reach the maximum, just start going down. Going down, going down. When do you start from negative? When the first shift is negative. So the first shift was supposed to be the first point, right? But here we have an interval. We must get from 0 to 5. When you are given an interval, you skate within the given interval. When there's no interval, you start from the first shift. So you must differentiate the two questions.
So, sir, when you replace 135 in that same equation, it can give you 0. Or when you just find the
Okay, this is 0. Let's try. What is f of 135? It's cos 135 times 2, that's 270. 270 minus 5, which is 180. What do we get? We get 90. Cos 90 is 0. So I just need one angle. I'll be able to sketch cos. Okay. What about part 3?
No more.
sorry, sir, just a bit. For example, if we had the vertical shift, maybe if it was 1, so we're supposed to do the same procedure to find the y coordinates.
Yes. These formulas here are saying vertical shift plus amplitude. Vertical shift minus amplitude. And then vertical shift. Whatever it is. If it was 1, it would have been 1 plus 1. 1 minus 1. That was it. I don't understand the English. Then part 3. Solve f of x is equal to √3/2. Unfortunately, this question does not show us where root 3/2 is. So we have to solve the question as if there is no graph. So you pick.
So just a question.
You can ask.
So,
Mhm.
like, how did you know that 90 is gonna give you the maximum?
We didn't
Or-
know. We didn't know about it, just update the phase shift. 90 as a name, it's a phase shift. So 100 to start from the
Okay.
phase shift.
Oh,
That's
okay,
why we
okay.
pick 90. And for course, the phase shift will always give you either maximum or minimum. Any question on the sketch?
So I think we should do a sine graph using the same method.
Remember so in this paper that was course. Since you're still doing so many papers, the next paper maybe there'll be sign. And then we'll see the variation. So as you pack the data, today you're packing for course. The day we do sign, you also pack for sign. So you don't confuse the two. When you put them at once, you don't know which one you've packed first. Then it will mix.
So these formulas used to find the maximum value, like the vertical shift plus the amplitude, always apply on cos.
And sign.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that is one question. Where are you getting -1? Related to triple. We're getting -1 from the amplitude. So since the amplitude is 1, the amplitude is 1. So we're saying to get the minimum value, to do vertical shift minus amplitude. Vertical shift is 0, so 0 minus 1 will get -1. That's why -1 has come from. Okay, so this Zoom is cutting us every after 40 minutes. So we log out and quickly log back. So we'll do this part 3 of this question. And then we'll move to the next piece.
Sir, I have a question.
Okay. What's your question?
Yes, my question is that, so when we want to use the table method, are we supposed to find the minimum value using the same method, or the minimum value will be found in the table?
If you're using the table method, the table will do everything for you.
Sorry.
The table will do everything for you. You don't need to know what the minimum value will be. The table will tell you.
All right.
We are rejoining immediately. So it cuts, you rejoin.